I am excited that you are here to do some journaling with us this week. We are going to be going live over the next 5 days, Monday through Friday, starting at 7:30 Eastern. And we're going to be exploring a number of different factors about starting your next chapter. So as you come in the room, if you could like this video, I would very much appreciate it. And I'm going to ask you a question to ponder as we get going. And that question I would like for you to perhaps answer in the chat is, and it's a pinned post right now, the pinned question, which is, what do you hope to experience this week with our journaling? What do you hope to experience this week with our journaling? How we're going to work this out today goes like this. I'm going to welcome you, which I'm doing right now, welcoming you to Aging Joyfully. I'm Julie Jordan Scott. I believe that the best is yet to be for all of us, no matter what age we are. If we are an empty nest, whether we're in retirement, if we are 18 years old and about to start a new grade in school or go to college, the best is yet to be. Hooray, thank goodness for that. That's very freeing to me. So I'm really glad that you are here sharing in that with me. We're going to talk about how to journal and what techniques we're going to use. I'm going to share some different ways that you may journal, whether that means on paper, whether that means dictation that I started to do when I had my surgery. Was it just last month? 6 weeks ago? And we're going to start with how we see ourselves. Now, we had 2 sessions a couple weeks ago, and we talked about believing mirrors. We're going to go back to that, but since then, through the joy and, may I call it, magic of journaling, I have discovered some new things about myself that are all wrapped up in this greater story, so to speak. So I am going to, let's see, did I cover that? I have a list. I'm doing all analog. Hooray. Because this is straight from my heart to yours. It's all real. It's all in the moment. And you will actually see me journaling with you. I will be journaling here in my notebook and as we go, because we'll also be doing some live journaling. So I wanted to start with a poem that I wrote, because it is, as I was working on this today, I said to myself, wow, Now Begin is really about what we're talking about in our journaling today. So I'm going to read the poem aloud, and my hope is that the replay viewers look at all of this, and the live viewers that haven't come in yet won't get it. The other thing is that I'm going to make a second version of this video, and you will, you can see it in a more concise edition. So that will be coming out at noon tomorrow. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Cheryl. So I'm going to read the poem that I wrote. Literally, I wrote this poem when I was starting a new chapter. I wrote this poem when I was standing, looking at the sunset over the Pacific Ocean in Santa Monica, California. I was about to leave my job as a county bureaucrat, a job with all kinds of benefits and all kinds of stuff that people always think are so fabulous. I was the ripe old age of 36 at the time. And this poem has come back over and over again. It looks like Catherine has a question for Cheryl. Do you want to ask it here, or do you want to do it later, Catherine? Welcome, by the way. I'm so grateful that you're here. So I'm going to go ahead and read the poem. And if you would like to put in the chat again, what do you hope to experience in these journaling sessions? And not all of you, I know. Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead. Otherwise, I think, and that's really an interesting point that I'll get to right now, is that sometimes when things don't get said, they get in the way. So put it out there, and then you and Cheryl may talk about it later. That'd be awesome. So go ahead. That's fine. But I know that the whole time I would be thinking, I wonder what Catherine's going to wants to ask Cheryl. I wonder. And that might keep me from delivering. So go right ahead. Okay, so here we go. This is a poem I wrote. It's called Now Begin. Hi, Miss Sam. A poem. You came into the perfect time. So before we start journaling today, I'm going to read this poem. We're going to talk about stream of consciousness journaling, and then I'm going to give you some prompts to start with. All right, so here we go. Now begin. Take away the degrees, titles, and accomplishments. What is discovered at your core? What is that unique, special spark that you've buried deep, neglected, or chosen to ignore? Seeking to please whomever, drowning out the pure longings of your heart, struggling, freezing, suffocating, until finally you choose to start. Whispers from the spirit, soul song from deep within. After dancing, stranger among strangers, claim it, your life. Now begin. So now, to begin our journaling session. Yes, soul song from deep within. Go ahead and ask the question, Catherine. Go ahead. And I will talk about stream of consciousness, which I know you've covered, you're familiar with. So go ahead and ask that question. So what we're going to be doing tonight is stream of consciousness journaling. And what stream of consciousness is, and if you heard this before, it's okay. Just stay with me. Because sometimes when you hear things over and over again, it's because you really need to hear it. So stream of consciousness journaling is when we let our pencil or pen or fingers on the keyboard or voice go across the page without censoring, without editing, without thought. I will often say, thank you, Cheryl. I will often say, just follow the flow of your pencil. Don't control it. Don't think you're smarter than it. Just go. Don't say that. Don't tell your pen, you can't say that. No, you can. You can. Stream of consciousness is a tool that many have used for eons. So that's what we're going to use when we have a prompt. I would like for you to go dick, 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 dick. Okay, so yes, did you get that? Yeah, very good. So we got that out of the way. Isn't that perfect? I hope you're feeling better, by the way, Catherine. Yes, I was going to say 7 Minutes with Cheryl, if you haven't met her before, has a very powerful story about forgiveness. And tomorrow, Catherine's going to make a video about forgiveness. So keep that in your loop. Okay. So stream of consciousness, there's a couple things I wanted to bring up too. As I was preparing for this, again, I'm doing this all analog, no AI, me from my experience of teaching journaling for decades and also working on myself for decades with the help of my creator. So one of the things that I came up with is it would be helpful for me to yeah, I'd say forgiveness is a hard one. And tomorrow when Catherine's video comes out, it'll be so awesome that you can really work on that and learn from one another. I really have a hard time forgiving myself. I think I am very forgiving of others, not so forgiving for myself. Catherine, thank you for saying that. If it wasn't for Julie, I'd never pick up a pen, says Catherine. And Evie is journaling now. She's like, she called me to tell me she was journaling now, which is really exciting. But anyway, back to the story. When we're looking at who we are and who we are becoming, and now we're going to begin. So whatever that next chapter is, now we're going to begin. It's important to keep our hearts and our minds open and aware of what we are saying, what we are feeling, what we are experiencing. And literally this week, in the last few days, I realized that I have the belief, far too often, that I am a burden. This took me by surprise, because if you had asked me 2 weeks ago when we were doing journaling together, I would never have said I'm a burden. That wouldn't have crossed my mind. This came up out of my own mouth. I never wrote it. And now I've started journaling about it. I've started journaling and writing about it, and I've started dictating about it. because my belief of being a burden was very, very deep. It was so deep that it's like I didn't know it existed. And that's the power stream of consciousness, both in writing and also in speech, in dictation. So dictation is a kind of journaling that I started to do. Again, this is like a gift when I could not write in my normal way. And even now I can't. I don't hold a pen quite the same way. But using my voice, dictating stream of consciousness, just like I write stream of consciousness. And it was so interesting when I did that. And I literally, on my iPad, I made a video because I couldn't find the microphone. So I had both sides. I had me dictating, but also me speaking, and I could see. So when I watched it back or listened to it back, I could see my face, and I could see my exterior, and I could hear the words I was saying. This was potent. So it's like another level of journaling. And it's almost like, okay, is this my next chapter, God? What are we doing here? What are you doing? Thank you. Yes, yes, and thank you. So last week, this is just an example of this whole burden thing and how journaling can work to help you get beyond those beliefs that are buried so deeply that you don't know that they're there. Because your soul song from deep within wants to get out. Because we're struggling, freezing, suffocating in the Now Begin poem. But I was making conversation. I was sitting backstage with my castmates. This necklace, I wore this in the play. A week ago, I did not know I was going to purchase this necklace. I decided after going to the first rehearsal wearing my black costume, because we're supposed to wear black and or red. And I did my monologue, and I said, I need a red heart necklace. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Hello. So I was making conversation backstage, and I had my costume. I knew I was going to get a necklace, but I had no idea what I was going to do with my hair. And this sounds crazy, Mike, you might not get this, but for ladies, oftentimes we're like we want our hair to look nice. My hair is like a mess right now, it is what it is. But I want to look nice on stage. And so I was sitting next to my new friend, Tina. And I said, Tina, I just said to her, like, under my breath, I don't know what I'm going to do with my hair. And Tina turned and looked at me and said, well, I can do your hair. And I'm like, really? And she said, yes, I'm a hairstylist. I would be happy to do your hair. Out of the blue, Tina said, I can do it. And I said to her, I don't want to be a burden. And she said, you are not a burden. But in my brain, I was thinking, if she's going to do my hair, that means she has to get to the theater earlier. That means that I'm going to have to make her go out of her way for me. I don't want to make her go out. I don't want. Struck that away. You are not a burden. I would love to do your hair. Yeah. Which one would you say, Catherine? That you would do my hair, or that you are not a burden, or which words? By the way, there's still time for you to say in the chat, thank you about my pretty necklace. If you're going to come back, or if you're going to participate in the journaling part, is there anything in particular you would like to get? Oh, your mind says that too, Miss M? Wow, again, there's no accident. There's no accident then that we're all here talking about this tonight. Just yesterday, we had 2 shows. By the way, if you'd like to see how beautiful my hair looked yesterday, if I do say so myself, if you look at Kay and Row Hiking Happens page, in their community post, they came to see my show. And there are many pictures up there of the 3 of us, and some of me by myself. And okay. All right, well, look at you guys. You can see how pretty my hair looks. You can see how happy I am. You can see how not burdened. There's no evidence of me being a burden to anybody. I didn't force Kay and Row to come to that. They wanted to come. And that's something else that as I was going through the journaling, I realized, and as I walked through the process, I know it was really nice, Mike. was so nice. They're so great. This is like the third or fourth time that I've met them. And they're the most kind, genuine people you'd ever want to meet. And they had a really good time at the show. It gave them a lot to think about and talk about. And yeah, it was really a lot of fun. And it's the first time that I've seen Ro in a dress. Ro was wearing a dress. She had her contacts on. She was beautiful. She's always beautiful. And Kevin was very, very Kevin. He even asked a question during our talk back. And someone in the audience, I believe, thanked him for asking that question. So that was really nice too. Again, affirmation is good. So on Sunday, we had 2 shows, which was exhausting. We had a matinee at 1, and then we had a night show at 7. And in between the shows, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought that I would hang out at the theater and rest, because where I live is like 45 minutes away. It wouldn't make sense for me to go home and come back and go home and come back. And then I found out that I'm going to have to leave the theater. And of course, I don't want to be a burden. Oh, thank you, Miss Sam. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden. But I didn't say anything to anybody. I kept this all in my head. And as I was walking down the center aisle of the theater, and this woman whose name is Allison, I'd been to her house before, she said, "Hey, do you want to come to my house? Do you want to come to my house between shows? You can just, go in my den and do whatever you want to do. We can have some snacks, have some talk. I'm not asking anyone else. Would you like to come to my house?" That doesn't sound like I'm being a burden, does it? She has a beautiful house at the shore, because that's where the theater was, at the famous Jersey Shore. And so I went to her house, ate a bit of lunch, talked quite deeply, because we're both pretty deep people. And that's like, I love depth. I love talking about, spiritual subjects. I love going into the depths of our heart and talking with people that way, especially new people. Thank you, Miss M. So both of these are examples of how much I'm not a burden and how much you are not a burden. I'm sure that if you take time to go through these prompts, you will discover that you too are not a burden. And so we're going to go through prompts. And I'm just going to speak a few. And then I'm going to just suggest you just let those kind of be around here. I don't know if you'll have your notebooks handy or whatever. If you were prepared to journal here live, we will journal for a few minutes, but I'm going to give you a few questions, a few prompts to kind of get your brain started. So here they are. And again, this is all handwritten and lucky. So I'm going to say I, meaning you. So what do I associate with being a burden? What do I associate with being a burden? How has this belief gotten in my way? How do my beliefs undermine or disagree with what I know to be true? What human may I go to who will see me in an alternative way, meaning not a burden? You're not a burden. Why does this matter? And how will things change if I stop acting as if I believe I'm a burden? You have your notebook. That's excellent. How will things change if I stop acting as if I believe I'm a burden? So that would be the final question. Let's see if I have it. Okay. Those are the burden-specific questions. The other ones are, and perhaps that's where we'll start, is more like a good warm-up. The names I call myself are. The names I call myself are. Okay, actually I'll give you 2, and we'll take 3 minutes to write on these. I'll be writing as well. So the names I call myself are, is the first one. Write that in your notebook. I describe myself as. And if you want to just write in the chat, you may do that too. I'm going to write in my notebook. We'll take about 3 minutes to do this. So I won't be speaking as much because I'm going to be focused on my writing. And I have my notebook right here. I saw Dora doing this today, and I thought I need to do that. Okay, so the names I call myself are And the second one is I describe myself as. I describe myself as. We'll take 3 minutes. Remember, let your pencil just float across the page. Don't think, don't edit, just let it go. Okay, begin to bring your sentences, your thoughts to a close. I could go on and do this for a long time, but I'm just going to have to stick with what I've got. All right, so as you're finishing up, I'll share with you what I wrote. And if you want to put in the chat something that you wrote, great. If you don't want to, or if you didn't write, that's okay. I'm just grateful that you're here. So I wrote, I describe myself as, the names I call myself are Tired, Old, JJS, my nickname, Ugly, Julie, Granny, Frumpy, Disassociating, Not Worth Much, Shameful, Don't Do It, Don't Say It. That's an example right there of free association. Don't do it, don't say it. It's like something deep within me was scared to say something that I might say. That's something to really watch out for. Don't do it, don't say it. I'm lost, confused, I can't remember, trustworthy to others, mostly. I put scared. None of these are real good. The other side of that coin is the names, you might say the names God calls me, the names I wish to be called, there's lots of ways you can look at that. Pick one of those out. Pick one of those out. And then write from there. Not now, but maybe before tomorrow. I wrote, I describe myself as, which was thank you for liking the video, whoever did that, by the way. I describe myself as. So how do you describe yourself? This is important. I wrote, I describe myself as unfortunate. I don't know, out of shape, and I'm working on it. Y'all know that. Tenacious. I'm working on it. Frustrated, yeah. Excited, yes. I wrote a human ATM because one of my kids asks me for money constantly, and I'm really tired of it. And I need to get that worked out. So that's something that's actually really, really good to recognize, because writing it down means, guess what? I can work on it. That's another potent thing about journaling, is that when you write things down, you can start working on things instead of just letting them be nebulous and out there. Okay, so did any of you have anything interesting, or did you think of anything interesting? You might not have written it down, but did anything come up for you? I would love to hear in the chat. And it's interesting to hear that some of the people here also get with the burden thing. Because it's interesting, because no one called me a burden. I made that all up myself. And going back to the poem, this burden stuff has nothing to do with what your unique or special spark is. Again, we all have that unique and special spark. We may have buried it under a lot of these beliefs that choose us to call ourselves burdens when we're not. And, I believe there's no accidents that I was sitting next to Tina. There's no accidents that Allison walked up to me and invited me to her home. So that is true, I believe, for all of us. There's no accidents. No accidents at all. I almost want to say something, so I guess I'm supposed to. I literally, sometimes I will say, I am an accident, I'm not supposed to be here. And that's because I'm a product of birth control failure, meaning my parents were actively trying not to conceive when I was conceived. And sometimes that has been a really hard pill for me to swallow. And then, of course, as some of you know, I've had more than one near-death experience. The most recent one in 2019 was the worst. And somehow I'm still here because I have work left to do, including being here tonight with you all. I believe that I'm here tonight with you all because I'm supposed to be here. So part of what we can do overnight is to look at those things, how we described ourselves, that I call less thans, and flip them by asking those questions about what do I want to be? What would I rather be? What am I being called? Who am I being called to be? And these questions, one of the things, again, that's coming up in my heart to say is that sometimes we answer these questions almost using the things that we've been taught, but that we haven't yet lived out fully. We might use a quotation that we love, a scripture that we love, and call that our response. And until we learn to or step into living that way, it doesn't matter if we can recite it. It's taking those whispers, those things that are written on our heart, and bringing them into life. So that's part of what this week is about, as we step into our next chapter, where we're bringing to life what we have deep inside, that for whatever reason we haven't yet. So we're going to begin to go through that. So one of the questions I asked, welcome to whoever's joining us now, is who is a human that you may go to who will be able to see you clearly and dispute these not so great things, like me saying, I am lazy, I am unfortunate, I'm lost, I'm confused. Who's a person, or who are some people that I can go to who will help me to see the light of what's right, rather than those negative things, those less than things? Do you have anyone in mind? Sometimes those people may be complete strangers, or they may be people who you just met, or they might be a parent, a spouse, they may be all sorts of people. But one of the things about believing mirrors, as we talked about believing mirrors 2 weeks ago, is that believing mirrors are people who can see beyond what you present yourself to be. They can see beyond the false front. Many of us have false fronts. because we have shame or fear or have not yet stepped into our fullest selves. So if you can't think of anyone, hi, I'm here. My name's Julie. I'm glad to help you to be, not only to be a part of your process and being believing in yourself more, but also in reflecting back to you who I see you as. So one of the exercises we started last time that we're going to continue is to talk about what your strengths are. And one of the things I found out during that last session that we did talking about your strengths was a lot of y'all would not know what your strengths were at all, or they would be very, very much vague. And so people would say, well, I am, okay, so people would say, I am strong. That's just an example that popped into my head. So strong is evidenced by you can lift a lot of weight. Strong is evidenced by what you've experienced in life and how you've overcome those things. Strong as in you were really brave when you took this or that action that you were not comfortable with and you did it anyway. So that's another way. But the underlying thing we would like to do is to become our own believing mirrors. Become our own believing mirrors. Okay. I wanted to talk about, make sure y'all know about stream of consciousness, wanted to review that. We just let our pencils float across the page. I would also really, two other things about connect, and also if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Dictation I found is very, very powerful means to journal with your voice. And I've used it not every day, but many days in the last month. And I will tell you that I have come up with some really big awarenesses that I did not have before. I was commenting on Jules. You remember Jules from our first journaling sessions that we did? And she was talking about how she does vlogs. She's doing vlogging every day. Not live, but vlogs. And she talks. It's just her talking for like 25 minutes a day. And I said to her, and she said she's really learned so much and she's made some great, huge changes in her life. And I said to her, there's something about using your voice and hearing your voice, just like it is moving your pencil across the page and reading what your thoughts are. Both of these are very powerful and potent. And they can really, really work together. So number one, I would strongly suggest that in addition to if you write your journaling at first, if you read your journaling aloud to yourself. And the other thing is, I would like to do some experimenting with dictation through a technique that I've used. Oh, hi, Chris. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. This is how Julie gets so into the process, she forgets to keep looking. Okay, so Ms. M says, the names I call myself are worthless, a burden, not good enough. Oh my goodness, just run away. The thoughts of your mind are too much for you. Yes, Ms. M. That was deep to type, absolutely. Cheryl says, people think I'm organized. I'm not at all, but I wish I was. I need to pay for closet organizers. Me too. Nice to see that Chris has been greeted. Roger's a believing mirror. He's the only person in your whole life who truly loves you unconditionally. What a blessing. What a blessing. And it is really awesome, Catherine. I think you and Roger are blessed to have each other. And Chris, I'm really glad you're here. And it was very deep. I want to say, Miss M, I'm so proud of you for typing that in. Miss M, that was really powerful that you typed those words in there. I can't imagine it was easy. It's amazing. Besides Jesus, yeah, Jesus is there too. And I think that, you know, if for those of us who are believers in Christ, that I think Jesus wants us to live out. You know, I was quoting scripture there a minute ago that some people may or may not have recognized. You're welcome, Miss M. But you know, since I'm the product of birth control failure, Psalm 139 is really big to me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made in that secret place, and that part of the reason I'm still here is because I still have work to do, and I'm still living up to my potential. Even though I'm almost 65 years old, I'm still living up to my potential, some of which I don't even know yet. Some of which is bigger than me, than the current me. And I don't mean that I'm going to gain weight. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, Madden, hi. I'm so glad you're here. So look for those believing mirrors and talk to them. So talk to Roger. You can talk to me. If you would like to do some of the experimental exercises, I'd love to do those with you one-on-one also. So let me know if that's of interest to you. You can email me. My email is, I believe, it's in my About section of YouTube. All right. So we have gone over quite a bit. I'm going to read the poem one more time. It's only been 35 minutes. Oh, hi, Jen. This perfect timing because I'm just about to read the poem that this whole series is based on. So perfect timing. Maybe you can bring more people in. So here we go. This poem is called Now Begin. And this journaling series is about starting your next chapter and becoming who you were meant to be. And so I'm thrilled that you're all here. Listen to this poem. And if you would like to put which lines speak to you the most, yes, I'm very grateful Em found a good place to land, a safe place to land. So here we go. And if you were here in the beginning and you heard it before, there's a reason I'm reading it again. Perhaps it's for you. Now begin. I wrote this, by the way. Right when I was starting a new chapter, I had no safety net. I was taking a wild leap away from bureaucracy and saying, I can do this life coaching, writing, speaking thing. And here I am. Take away the degrees, titles, and accomplishments. What is discovered at your core? What is your unique, special spark you've buried deep, neglected, chosen to ignore? Seeking to please whomever, drowning out the pure longings of your heart, struggling, freezing, suffocating, until finally you choose to start. Whispers from the spirit, soul's song from deep within. After dancing, stranger among strangers, claim it, your life. Now begin. Claim it, your life. Now begin. Okay, Miss M says struggling, freezing, and suffocating. Me too. Me too. When I was talking about being a burden, that was struggling, freezing, and suffocating. When I'm a burden, when I see myself as a burden, it's hard for me to see myself as having the gifts that I have and sharing them. So when we say claim it, your life, now begin, that's what we're going to continue to do throughout the week. Okay? I see Jen's talking about stinking thinking. Yeah, I've heard that. That's an oldie and goodie. That's an oldie and goodie. And we are going to be rewriting those beliefs, rewriting those less than beliefs, and standing. Oh, it is. It is. Ms. M, I'm going to suggest that those are being stirred up because they want you to claim your life newly. Claim your life newly. So let's take a few deep breaths together. Okay, ready? Let's take some nice deep cleansing breaths. Let's breathe in and let it go. Breathe in. Feels so good. And let it go. Breathe in. And let it go. Now I would like us to journal or to simply in the chat say, who is it? Who do you want to claim yourself to be? I want to claim myself as, or I want to be is easiest. I want to be I want to be. I want to claim myself as. So these are the new names. These are the new spaces you want to be in. These are the new ways of looking at yourself, looking at your life. So I want to be. And by the way, if all you do is write, I want to be ... what will happen is later tonight, tomorrow morning, thoughts will arise. And I want to claim. You can say just claim ... You can say, I want to reclaim myself. Okay. So we're going to take a few minutes. We'll give you 2 minutes. If you would like to simply put in the chat, I want to be free of stinking thinking. I want to be stronger. I want to be more present. I want to be a journaler. I want to be more forgiving. I want to be refreshed. I want to be brand new again. All of these things. So I will read. Jen says, I'm remembering who I was before my narrative started dictating my worth. That inner child who is loving, kind, and impactful is resurfacing. That's wonderful. That's so cool, Jen. I want to be unafraid, says Jen. Wonderful. Miss M says, who do I want to claim myself to be? I want to claim healing. I want to claim all of these bad memories to go away. What do you want to replace them with? So think specifically. I want to replace these bad feelings with loving feelings. I want to claim healing. I want to be free of negativity. I want to be open to receive love. I want to be open to the best of me. I want to be open to the people who see me as I am. I want to be open to friendship. I want to be open to creative practices. I want to be open to moving my pencil across the page. Loving these answers. Loving this. Loving this. I just want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free. In fact, you could say that over and over again. And then you can simply say, I am free. I feel free. I know freedom. All of that. Write it. Feel it. Allow it to come back to you. Okay? Okay. I want to finish editing this. Yes. You want to edit that video. I believe in you, Jen. I believe in you. All right, so we've covered most of what I wanted to cover in my deeply analogian fashion. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. So believing mirrors, remember, those are the people who see us as we truly are. Or they may even see who we are at our best. And they see how and who we have the potential to be. They see us as a reflection of how we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And so I would ask for you to think about that overnight, to think about what human you might want to connect with to bring this best part of you out. So you can claim it, your life, now begin. Claim it, your next chapter, now begin. Claim it, your freedom, now begin. Claim it, editing your video, now begin. Claim it, your nonprofit, now begin. Claim it, self-forgiveness, now begin. I think y'all know where I'm going. So I would also love it if overnight, if you want to come back here, if you think, what do I really want to experience from this journaling thing? One of my specialties or secrets is that whenever I create courses or programs, I really like to look at what people would most appreciate. Because while I tune in and I do a lot of prayer meditation to discern what I'm supposed to create, it's also helpful if y'all will tell me what you would benefit from the most. I would love to know. So I'm excited to come back here tomorrow and continue with this. And I want to express gratitude. I'm so glad, Miss M. Express gratitude to each of you who is here and spent your time with me. I love coming alongside people who are wanting to express themselves more fully through writing and creativity. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope that you'll come back again tomorrow. If you have friends who you think might enjoy this, please invite them. It was deep for you too? Okay. It's deep for me. It was deep for me also. It was deep for me in the discovery. And I'm trying to decide what to do with it. Well, I know what I'm going to do with it, but again, please let me know how I might. Oh, I wanted to go over where we're going after this. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about our passions. So we're going to talk about what you've been passionate about, past, present, and what's calling you. So we're going to talk about our passions. We're going to talk about on Wednesday, what we need to let go of so that our strengths can shine through. You can see the whole agenda on my community page. I'm so glad. Thank you, Cheryl. As Cheryl said, I benefit from Julie taking the time to get us writing again. You've had a blockage for a while. Well, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. If nothing else, just being here, I think, stokes the fire a bit. But that's for the next 3 days. If you want to see the whole table of contents or the whole agenda, it's on my community page. And you can look on there and see where I'm planning to go. But like I said a few moments ago, if you have something that you would like to do or you would like me to address, I will. Because right now, I've scheduled this for an hour. I don't like to go on forever if it's not being of service to people. So if you have any questions, we'll use some time. I'll open up the floor for questions. Because I'm more than happy. I'm loving that I'm opening the door to me sharing from my experience as a workshop facilitator, teacher, writer myself. If I look at the comments of my circle, okay, good, then don't look. Does it bother you? We're going to talk about passions tomorrow? Playnola, hi. Thank you, Miss M. I'm so glad you came in. You were supposed to be here, clearly. You were supposed to be here. Yeah, Playnola, we were talking about beliefs, and we were talking about, I was confessing that I have this belief that was buried really deeply about being a burden to people. And tomorrow we're going to talk about passions. We're going to write about passions. What y'all probably don't know is that I used to have a website called, hey, look who's here, Dave. I used to have a website called 5 Passions. Hey, Dave, I've talked about old guy hustle. Are you still here, Cheryl? Are you still here? Because Dave, I was talking about your morning walks. And if y'all don't follow Old Guy Hustle, he comes on 7:30 in the morning Eastern time every day, and he's walking. How many miles are you walking now, Dave, if you're still here? Dave is going for 1,250 miles this year. He's amazing. But Dave inspired me. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing the live streaming until I get to be 65. Great inspiration. So I'm really glad that you popped in. But yeah, I was really worried about being burdened, and it really brought up a lot of really great stuff, and we wrote a bunch of prompts, and I think I'll read my poem one more time. Yeah, I'll read my poem one more time. We also talked about the monologues again, and talked about, we went deep. We did go deep. So I'll share my poem again for you. Oh, there you are. You're welcome. We're big fans. You're very inspiring. And I will say, I've been doing I'm walking in the golden hour because, hello, I'm going to be 65. And so I'm not going for any time. I'm not going for any miles. I'm just getting out there. So my intention was to go out in the golden hour at sunset. But because I was in rehearsal for those monologues, I had to go live in the morning at 6:30 a.m. And I've been doing that. And one of the things I've noticed, and then I've been going for about a half an hour, and I'll walk, and then I'll turn around and walk the same way. And then I take a lot of photos because I've forgotten that I'm a photographer. I am a photographer. And so it's been really awesome. But I've grown so much my fitness is really taken off. And I would say in the pictures that Kay and Ro took from the monologues, the vagina monologues, I'll say that word again. I say that word in that show. I must say that word like 50 times. I say it over and over again. It's almost ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even know why I got into that. Thank you that you're proud of me. I'm glad. Yeah, Dave, you're amazing. Really, y'all. You need to watch him at 7:30. I don't watch Dave as often as I'd like to, but I do come in a few times a week. I know. Again, Jen says, I love when the people who inspire show up on our live streams. Last week, Rob the Maritimer showed up. This week, Sheila. Oh, yeah, I was on your live stream when Sheila popped in. And Mike, Old Me Living, joined. Wow, I've never seen Mike on a live stream. That's pretty cool. Okay, so look at that. If you have any more questions about writing and journaling, you can pop them in the comments. You can watch the replay and pop them in the comments there, because I'm happy to create this week-long program according to what you like or want or need. So I'm going to read the poem one more time as a way to close this out. This poem's called Now Begin, written by me. It was written in 1999, so over 25 years ago. Okay, here we go. Take away the degrees, titles, and accomplishments. What is discovered at your core? What is your unique, special spark you've buried deep, neglected, and chosen to ignore? Seeking to please whomever, drowning out the pure longing of your heart, struggling, freezing, suffocating, until finally you choose to start. Whispers from the spirit, soul song from deep within. After dancing stranger among strangers, claim it, your life, now begin. This is when you snap. In poetry world, snap, 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 snap. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I'll be back here at 7:30 Eastern time for the rest of the week. And I'm very excited. Very excited to be. I'm glad you love it. You can thank a sunset looking over the Pacific Ocean in Santa Monica. And I was right on the verge of quitting my job working for the county. I'm like, no more county bureaucrat. I was not made to be a county bureaucrat. I was made to be a writer, teacher, speaker. Oh, I'm so glad, Jen. I think I'm going to use this in all of the episodes for this week. So I'm so glad that Dave popped in. What a joy to see you here. And I really do suggest you all follow him if you don't already and hang out. You can, it takes him a while to do all that walking. So you can pop in, hang out for 10 minutes and you'll meet an amazing cast of characters. They're really great people. Yes, creation does inspire us to do what we love. Creation, the sunset. And I literally wrote that. It was just like me sitting down, boom, boom. I never write poetry that rhymes, but I have done a little bit of tinkering with it, but mostly it came out as is. So, all right, y'all. It's time for me to go for now. Thank you so much. I hope to see you later in the week. Be on the lookout. Take good care.